Hey, Nation, Harry here, and I'm with Craig Fulton, the Chief Customer Officer.
Yeah.
Did I get that right?
That's my latest title.
That's your latest title.
Had
Well,
about 8 there.
first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself. What have you done at ConnectWise? I understand
Yeah.
you've moved up the ladder.
Yeah, so I came in at ConnectWise as a field engineer with the MSP
Wow.
in Tampa.
Wow.
I'd gotten into tech in '94 in the Marines and went to Accenture and landed at ConnectWise. And so since my time there, I worked in support, helped build the education and consulting teams, moved to the product team, worked in product development and management for 8 years, became the product officer, and then shifted focus more to customer-oriented support, customer success. I just wanted to make sure that our partners were leveraging the most of the software.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the keynote the other day. So
Yeah.
you talked about operational maturity. So if you
Yeah.
don't mind, let's kind of walk through that, both with the MSPs and ConnectWise itself.
Yeah. So with the MSPs, when we talk about maturity, what I've been witnessed in the community is, in the beginning, very focused on, hey, getting technology infrastructure out there,
Correct.
focused on delivering technology, supporting technology. I would say, I'm just grabbing a number, but it's pretty close. About an average size of one of our partners in the beginning was about 12 employees, and the owner was very techy.
Yeah.
And the maturity we've seen is probably because of managed services and what it is, and you're delivering an outcome to a customer of uptime and productivity. And then you're starting to see people say, whoa, I need to add value into my business. This is my retirement plan.
Yeah.
And you're seeing this maturity happen. Now we're seeing partners in the 25 employee range, but importantly, the owner is more strategic driven.
Yep.
More focused on a customer experience now, because the technology is now there. Now they're focused on how can the customer leverage this technology to grow their business, to meet their goals, instead of, hey, I'm just fixing computers when they break, or I'm just putting a computer here. They're more focused on, using technology to drive business forward and being more consultative. So that's the maturity we've seen on the MSP side. Now in ConnectWise, I've had a unique view on it since I've been there for so long, and I really did grow up in that company. I would say I matured myself. We've seen a maturity of small business startup thinking of, okay, just run, just go, work at the speed of thought, do things and see if they land. And we did a lot of that, right? We built a university, we built this community based on our feeling, like this feels right, do it, and having Arnie as a mentor was a great thing, because he really understood the pulse and what people wanted and how to pull all that off. But as you start to grow a business, right, scaling that magic gets hard, right? Because then, I liken it to like a brewery, right? It's like, if you get a brewery in your town, it's small, and you go there and you know them, and you're like, great, this is awesome, and this is such a great thing. But then when you travel across the country and you see that beer in a can in a grocery store, you're kind of like, wait a minute, what? Why do they have that here? That's my thing, back in my town. ConnectWise started to kind of go through that. It was like, wait, now everybody wants it, and we grew. And then, some of our original partners were like, hey, but this was our thing, and you knew my name, and it was Norm, and it was Cheers, and
Yeah.
And this is the maturity ConnectWise is now going through. Like, how do we deliver that at scale? And we have to be more intentional. We can't say, well, this feels right, let's do it. It's about measuring to what looks good, what good looks like, managing to an outcome, because we want to make sure that we continue to deliver a great experience to our partners, and we have to mature to do that. So. It's really the only way you can scale. We don't have 30 people anymore. We have over 2,600, and we now have 40,000 plus partners.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Yeah, that's the maturity that we're talking about.
What's next? What's next as we go forward in 2022? You've been on a rampage with mergers and acquisitions. I know you normally can't comment on that, but at a high level, what's next?
Our platform.
Okay.
So we launched our AZO platform here.
And what's AZO stand for? Or is it just
it's
a word?
It's a genus of owl.
Oh.
So yeah, that's where that's coming from. Our chief marketing officer really got the team together, and
Yep.
I love the name. And I love the new brand too. So as we talk about going in, we've launched a new logo, new brand to kind of signify that this is the next generation of ConnectWise. But we're really focused on the platform because we have over 20 products. We can't continue to like duplicate efforts across products. You can't say, okay, we got 10 of these products have ticketing, let's build 10 ticketing engines. We have to build one ticketing engine that they point to.
Yeah, I could see that with your acquisitions.
Yeah, so that's the future, and then really continuing to invest in partner growth. The IT Nation, we're here now. We're doing a lot more next year and into the future. And then if you saw the keynote this morning, we've acquired Service Leadership, and the future is taking all of that great content, all those great assets, the Sleek, the benchmarking, and bringing it to this community because we know the future is growth and adding value to business.
Yeah, it's interesting because I've known Arnie since the late '90s.
I used to see you guys in the videos, so I remember.
Yeah, exactly. And I watched when you interacted with SMB Nation, and again, there's life cycles. And so for about a decade, we helped you recruit partners and grow, right?
Yeah.
That was our job, was
Yeah.
to help you recruit MSPs. Then you had them, and what I'm hearing you say, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but it may be less about recruiting thousands and thousands of partners, but working with your 40,000 existing partners and helping them grow through service leadership and so on. Did I get that right? I mean, you'll probably never turn down a sign up.
No, we want to continue to grow. Yeah, that's true. And look, Gary, I'm honored to be here because, like I said, that's Eric Brelsford, SME Nation, this guy. And so I finally get to sit down with you. So I'm a little starstruck, but it's like we want to continue to add partners, but we feel we've matured now. We understand how to scale it. We launched this modes concept on stage a couple days ago.
And I'm going to the lecture this afternoon on
that.
Yeah.
Are you a startup? Are you a value builder? Are you an empire builder? We're doing things like that.
I'm kind of the lifestyle guy.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, some people will feel like, oh, I'm just a lifestyle business. Like, that's great. That's the majority. There's nothing wrong with that. But let's work together. Let's figure out your mode. Let's figure out where your operational maturity level is, and then deliver the right content, the right place. We want to scale the magic to the 40,000 that we currently have, but we want to continue to bring partners in to our community, the IT Nation, and help as well.
No, and that's really important because, and I wasn't being facetious, but there's a lot of companies now embracing the term, platform and ecosystem and all that. Yeah. And we're not seeing as much activity on the recruiting side. And here's my concern, is that, we're trying to attract younger people into this profession, right? And we need to recruit them. And my two sons, with all due respect, want nothing to do with the MSP community. One's over in enterprise healthcare technology, the other's in aerospace. So we somehow have to have a better conversation with the next generation, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and you're right. And yesterday I was telling the crowd, like, that's the group I'm most excited to meet, because we have done a good job of hitting like that, as Arnie would call it, the Gen 1 IT provider.
Yeah, and we're not getting any younger.
And it's like, where is the Gen 2? How do you reach them? How do you draw them in? What are they looking for? We're bringing Gen 2 in. I see them, but I think it's a completely different way to get their attention.
It's a different conversation.
A completely different conversation, because they're not thinking leading a legacy when they're out there. They're thinking, and they're growing their business different. They're not as techie. They're more sales and marketing driven and growing a business through acquisition, not organically growing a business.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, let's do this. Let's check in next quarter. Why don't we plan on quarterly reviews?
Yeah,
you
I would
preached
love
about
to.
that, quarterly business reviews. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Craig,
thank you.
Good job on the show. I'm impressed. 2,700 attendees, well over 100 booths. Nice comeback after a year off. My congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.